And we are live. The countdown to kickoff is on. I am Gabriel Morency, kicking it with the one and only Donnie Rightside as we look to put you on the right side this afternoon in what a lot of people have called a tricky week of five this week. But aren't they all? Aren't they all, guys? We've got a lot of live movement. We'll get you injury updates. We got guys that are in. We got guys that are out. Lines are popping around right now, specifically in this Dolphins and Tennessee Titans game, because Matt Castle will be the starting quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. And remember, guys, this is the Miami Dolphins' first home game, actually. We're in week 5. Remember, the Hurricane wiped out that game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, going to replay it in week 11. The game in London was a designated home game for them. This is the first true home game for the Miami Dolphins, and in a couple of minutes, we'll tell you why we like the Miami Dolphins so much. I'll tell you what, Matt Castle sucks. That's why, because Matt Castle is fucking terrible. Donnie Rightside, always a pleasure, my man. How you doing, Donnie?
Hey, doing real good. Nice to catch up with you on your show during the week, but Sundays are what we live for here. NFL football is back. A lot of line movement, Gabe. What I love about it, it's noon time right now, Eastern time. The odds are lighting up, going left and right. Things are changing at the last minute. We'll have some good information today throughout the show, Gabe. Looking forward to it, buddy. Let's get it going.
I tell you what, Donnie, you know what? I'm a 47-year-old, pretty bitter and jaded man, but it's the same feeling, isn't it? Every Sunday morning, an hour before the games, I got the tingles now. You get the goosebumps. Is it going to be a big day? Am I going to pick winners? Am I going to make money? Are we going to advance in a super contest? The day that I don't, that I don't get the tingles and I don't get excited at this time of the day every Sunday during the NFL season is the time I got to tap out, Donnie.
Yeah, no, being just a fan of the NFL overall, the Eagles play today. I know the Bills play today for you. It's just like you open it up in the morning, you wake up, you check what the odds are. I put my DraftKings lineup in. I go back to the odds, surfing the web. The time goes so fast Sunday morning. You're right. I'm 40, you're 47. I live for days like this. And I even preface it by, Gabe, I had a winning day hinging on Nebraska last night, which didn't come through. Fell asleep, woke up this morning, brand new day, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it was the same thing, Don. Big Man was kicking it with us last night. I was doing my sports rate show on Patreon last night, and it was a rough night, Donnie. A lot of bad beats. I fucking bet a Japanese baseball game. I go to bed. I got under 9.5. Lotte and whoever, Taipan or whoever the fuck they were playing. I go to bed. It's 2-1. I got 9.5. I could have cashed out. I don't. Motherfuckers goes over the number. And like you said, that it sucks, Donnie, when you wake up and you think you won something and you look. I'm like, man, I should have this much in my account. And I was thinking, I'm like, oh, God, you're telling me they didn't win? But you got to shake it off because they're kicking off the football in less than an hour.
No, it's kind of funny you bring that up, Gabe, because how many times have I done this, the late games? Let's just say you're on one of those late ones last night, whether it be a hockey game, a baseball game or whatever it was. Sometimes I put the game on, and if it's going real late, like third quarter, fourth quarter, you go to sleep. And sometimes you wake up and you think you hear stuff from the night before, whether or not you won or lost, or I thought I heard a cheer in the middle of the night.
Exactly, yeah.
I do that all the time, man.
Donnie, you and I are the same. I've done it too, where I've gone to sleep. And I'm thinking, am I just making this up in my head? Like, because I want it to be? I'm the same way, Donnie. I'm dozing off, and I'm thinking in my head, I think they just scored. I hear that sort of chant. You're half asleep, half in this thing. And then I've done it too, dude, where I've woken up. I'm like, I think I made that up. I don't think they fucking fumbled.
No, I do. I wake up, I'll grab the cell phone in the morning. We've done a couple of these bits there where I like this. When I check scores, Gabe, I'm so superstitious. I put when the whole scoring screen comes up, I slowly scroll down. I put my thumb over the game so I can't see exactly what happened. Then you get to your game where your thumb's over. You take that deep breath and scroll down, hoping the arrow is with your team. My God, we're all superstitious, man.
That's awesome. I guess that's why you and I were somehow put together in this world, Donnie. So let's rock and roll. Let's start off with the Arizona Cardinals and the Philadelphia Eagles. We got some live movement in this game, and I think it's due to me because I've been chirping for the last 48 hours to anyone that'll listen to me, telling them I like the Arizona Cardinals plus the points in this football game. This game reminds me a hell of a lot of the game a couple of weeks ago against the New York Giants, and we saw the Philadelphia Eagles needed a 61-yard field goal to win that football game. It's been a nice start for your Philadelphia Eagles so far this year. But now you're asking them to win by essentially a touchdown against a team that's done a lot of damage against them, Donnie. And I'm sure I don't have to tell you, man. Larry Fitzgerald's got 11 fucking touchdowns in 8 games against these guys. Carson Palmer has tore them apart in his career. And big man on campus took offense last night or the other night. I think it was Friday night, late night anger management class. Jazz, our boy Jazz, stated the Eagles secondary sucks. And big man really got pissed off about it. But the fact of the matter is, the Eagles do give up 285 yards a game in the air. They're the 30th ranked pass defense in the NFL, Donnie. And Carson Palmer can still throw. You know, he's not the old Carson Palmer, but they throw the ball like 50 times a game. I think this is a close football game. I think Arizona can win this football game outright, but I'm taking the points.
Yeah, I don't think Arizona can win the game from my perspective on this one. If we're looking at the injuries to Arizona's offensive line, that's going to be a key. The Eagles should be able to get home. The one thing Carson Palmer and that Bruce Arians game is about, Gabe, 5-step drops, which is not like you saw where the New York Giants came in and were throwing the football in under 2 seconds. He's going to take his deep drops because they have speed at wide receivers. They want to use that down the field strategy to get after it. The one thing I'll agree with you, though, Gabe, the two very good safeties for the Eagles, McLeod and Jenkins are back there. Banged up at the corner position. But the one thing the Eagles secondary is lacking right now until they get Jones and Darby back is speed. And you're going to send a lot of those they almost look like clones out there, the Browns and the Nelsons of the world. They're really fast. And Larry Fitzgerald is going to have this 8-catch, 85-yard game with 1 or 2 touchdowns today. You can probably book that already. I put that in my DraftKings lineup. The one thing you like from an Eagles perspective, they should be able to run the football. They're a very good home team. But again, we're still looking at 6.5. If we're looking at this game going down, do I think the Eagles win this football game? Yes, I do. But if I'm going to build a case for Arizona here for you, Gabe, late in the game, if the Eagles are up 10 points, 13 points, whatever it would be, Arizona is going to be able to move the football with that wide receiving core late in the football game, and that back door is going to be wide open to me. I don't see a runaway win for the Eagles, but I do see the Eagles winning here.
I agree. I agree. The back door is going to be open. I don't think it's going to be needed. I think your boy Carson Wentz is going to be the one that's going to have to use the back door to win the football game. I'm feeling it that much. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I keep coming back to like a 24-23 game. I think it just creeps over the number. I think it's going to be a dogfight all the way through. I think a lot of people, listen, I'm on Arizona season win total. I'm fucking screwed. I'm screwed. The wheels have somewhat fallen off, but this is a big game for Arizona. This is almost their season in a sense. They go to 2-3. It sort of falls apart for them. They go to 3-2. They just sort of take it on a weekly basis. They don't play in a great division. Maybe the Rams can run away with this division if they win today, and I think they will actually. We'll get to that, but oh shit, heavy rain right now in Cincinnati, guys.
Yeah, I was tracking there's a lot of rain games, or at least drizzle or precipitation in the forecast.
I got a live look in at Buffalo here. Rain drizzling in Philadelphia. We'll do a weather check, but it's coming down pretty hard. It's hard to see rain on TV, and when it's when they don't give you the sideways shot, it's coming down hard. But yeah, I like Arizona in this game. I really think it's going to be a close football game. It's going to come down to the wire. And I know some people don't like teasers. Some people do like teasers. I think a great teaser is Arizona plus 13 over 37.5, which leads me into this Buffalo Bill Cincinnati Bengals game. The Buffalo Bills are one of 2 teams in the NFL, guys, that are perfect against the spread. And you know what they say in Vegas, good teams win, great teams cover. Kansas City Chiefs are 4-0 against the spread. The Buffalo Bills are 4-0 against the spread. Back-to-back road games, Donnie. Buffalo getting an even 3. The total is 39. What's your take?
I mean, Gabe, I think the line is perfect in this game. And we see it sometimes in the NFL where they just hang that number at 3 and you get that even line movement. I know Pinnacle's showing, minus 3.5 plus 109. That's not really a line indicator. If I'm leaning on a team, I always like to have the home team. But if you're going to throw in bad weather in this situation, Andy Dalton's not a running quarterback. Tyrod Taylor can get out of the pocket. Shady McCoy can dominate on the ground. And it sort of takes away from throwing the football because you want to use, A.J. Green on the outside. We'll see if those 3 running backs get in the mix for Cincinnati. I like to give pick or lean on each and every game, Gabe. I can make a case for both of these teams. I stayed far away from this one. I would slightly lean towards the home team, but if you're going to give me 3 in a rainstorm with the way the Bills like to play defense and have a quarterback that is mobile, I'll take the Bills here if that weather's bad.
I figure, you look at basketball, Donnie, what do they say? The defense is always there for you, right?
Defense travels. Yep.
Yeah, maybe the shots aren't falling, but, if we play defense, it'll keep us in a game until the shots fall. That's the way the Buffalo Bills are. I know people say, the Bills let down. It's going to be listen, I thought it could have been a letdown after that emotional Denver win, Donnie. Could have, technically going into Atlanta. So now, it's going to be a letdown after the Atlanta game. I'm not so sure this Sean McDermott-led defense really thinks that way as far as letdowns. I think they're just that damn good. And, since Andy Dalton's played 2 football games where he hasn't fucking pissed all over his shoelaces here. All right. Last week they weren't great. They had a hard time running the football against Cleveland. They still have a hard time protecting Dalton. And Dalton's still Dalton. I mean, they should have been able to beat Green Bay, and they couldn't because of his limitations. I think if there's a team that can create some havoc with Dalton, I think Dalton will be Dalton again and turn the ball over. I think it's the Buffalo Bills. They don't have Jordan Matthews, but whatever, man. And they've been doing it with smoke and mirrors. I like the simplicity. I think these coordinators overcomplicate things. I like the simplicity of Buffalo's offense. Try to run the ball with McCoy. Let Taylor use his athletic ability. Hey, Charles Clay's playing at an elite level right now. It's a tough matchup for the Bills offensively against this really good Bengals defense. I think the under's worth a look here, Donnie, at 39. I don't see where the points are going to come from here, buddy.
No, if Rain's going to enter into this forecast, and I love the switching of the coordinator in Cincinnati now that says, look, we have 3 running backs. Let's use them. And the way Buffalo is going to want to get down here, Gabe. They're going to get Tyrod Taylor out of the pocket. They're going to use the running game. They're going to use the tight end over the middle. Jordan Matthews, whether or not he plays or not, wasn't really a big deal. Now that if weather is going to be a part of this football game, it's even going to lessen the value of actually having Jordan Matthews anyway. But you can't put it past right now. I mean, coming into this football game, Sean McDermott's going to have a nice scheme going. And Gabe, we've seen it. When Andy Dalton turns into Andy Dalton, he gives you the football game, and that could happen here against a good defense.
And in the rain here, too, I think it's a slight advantage here. And let's say it continues to rain. It's raining pretty hard. Let's say it continues like this. What's the Bengals' one play, Donnie? What's their strength? Fucking throw it 70 yards down the field to AJ Green.
Yeah.
They do the straight vertical, boom. That's their play. You got Tyrod Taylor. I think Tyrod Taylor can handle bad conditions better than Andy Dalton can. Tyrod Taylor can scramble around, buy some time. Tyrod Taylor. Thing with Tyrod Taylor, fundamentally, he's a bad quarterback. If you watch him on tape, you're like, holy fuck, how's this guy in the NFL? But he's one of these guys, he's not a practice guy. He's a game guy. Once the game goes, he makes plays. I like Buffalo in this game. I think the Bills keep this thing going right now. If they lose, maybe they lose in a heartbreaker. I can't justify laying 3 points with Andy Dalton in this spot. I tell you that much. And they're both very good defenses. Are the Bills a better defense? Like you said, Donnie, they're fucking evenly matched. Even quarterback-wise, I'd say they're evenly matched. You got Cincinnati on their home field, but hey, there's something special about Buffalo right now. I don't trust Dalton. I do like the under in this game, guys. I hate betting unders in the NFL. I always get fucked, man, but I like the under in this. I don't see where the points come from, guys. I really just don't see where the points are going to come from. All right, we got more line movement here, Donnie. Looks like some people are liking the Panthers down, Detroit Lions down to 1.5 right now total. And, for the record, guys, the long field goal prop is 4-0 in Bills games. Hoshka's the new Tucker. Fuck. The Ravens are so bad they can't even kick. They don't even kick field goals anymore. Hoshka is like money from 50+, and it's a little short. It's 43.5.
What about the rain, though, in that game, Gabe? If it's bad weather there, is that going to impact you?
I know, and I already bet it, Donnie, so there's no turning back. So, hey, doesn't mean it's going to rain hard for 3 hours, though, and it doesn't just because we see a little rain right now. So whatever, man. I'm already on that, but yeah, keep your eye on the weather, guys. All right, weather not a factor in Motown here. Defend the den. They're looking to restore the roar. The Detroit Lions are a 10-second runoff and about 3 inches away from being 4-0, Donnie.
Yeah, I don't understand the disrespect Detroit gets. I mean, Carolina is it the public sees Carolina goes on the road and beats New England. Oh my gosh, we're back. We're ready to ball. It seems like one of the teams that flies under the radar every single year. The Detroit Lions. You don't have that big marquee Megatron at wide receiver anymore. Matt Stafford just scrambles around and makes things happen. They play good, sound defense. They have a good head coach. They're in every single game. Don't seem to blow many teams out. And again, I see this line open up at 3, and now it's dropping down. Chris has 1.5. Sportsbook.com at -2. I always have a theory that I like to stick to a lot of the times in life, Gabe. The Detroit Lions at home under a 3-point spread, they're going to be right there at the end of the ball game. Give me Detroit. I don't even lines dropping. I'm not trying to read into it. Give me Detroit at home if they're either going to be getting points or under a field goal. Stafford's going to have them in that ball game.
We talk about it. You talk about taking an underdog and you want to have the back door open to have that puncher's chance. You're always going to have a chance to win a football game. And especially we don't have to cover the game now. We just got to win. I agree with you. And I was victim of it as well. I've been guilty of it, I should say, of undervalue. And I like the Lions. I'm a Bills fan. We're cousins, Donnie. You know what I'm saying? Lions and Bills were related. So, Lions fans pull for the Bills and vice versa. But with that being stated, I thought the Vikings last week was the play, and I thought the line was a little short. But I don't think the Vikings get a lot of respect either. But you're right. The Detroit Lions just don't get respect from the betting public. Number coming down right now. Cam Newton's a public type of guy coming off that big win last week. But, hell, we've seen everybody move the ball up and down the field against the New England Patriots. And, Carolina are a lot of things, and one of the things they are is inconsistent. If they're very capable of getting shut down, they're capable of putting up 24 on the board. I think, I can't disagree with the over in this game that both teams get into the 20s. But I think, you're getting Detroit on their home field as, basically they're telling us that these teams are evenly matched on a neutral field, or Carolina's a point better on a neutral field, whatever. I don't buy that, Donnie. I think Detroit are a better team than these guys.
I think Detroit, their coaching scheme coming into the football game on defense going to try to keep Cam under wraps. If he can't run around and make plays, we've all seen good Cam and we've seen bad Cam. When it starts to go bad, it looks like he doesn't even care that he's even at the football game. Still no Greg Olsen there. We'll see if they can get the running game going. But Detroit, again, no respect at home again. Gabe, my moniker in the NFL, it's hard to win a road game in the NFL. Give me Stafford at home -1.5.
And a big injury update here. Jarrad Davis is going to play. This kid's a fucking stud. Linebacker out of Florida, of course. Big difference maker for this defense. I know he's only played a couple of games in the NFL, but he was already calling the plays and stuff. He was already, becoming one of the go-to guys. So Davis is back. I really like that, especially, the shadow Cam Newton. I like the Detroit Lions in this game. We've got the Lions in a super contest. I'm part of 4 super contest entries. I got the Lions on 3 of them. So, yeah, I like the Lions in this football game. And I think the total might be a little light at 42, but yeah, like I said, it's a tricky game, tricky week today. I wouldn't surprise me if this game was 2017. Like me and Donnie say, if you can come up with possible outcomes, then it's not a real lock. You know what I mean? You got to be locked in. No, this is going to happen. Not, I could see it like this or I could see it like that. You know what I'm saying, Donnie?
No, absolutely. I mean, that's the fun about the NFL. In college football, you have a lot of big lines. You can figure out what team's going to win. You're just trying to look at the spread. A lot of times in the NFL game, especially today, 3, 2, 1. I mean, there's a multiple game numbers under 3 points where if you don't see it clearly, it's going to be an error. But again, some of these games fundamentally comes down to what you know about the teams. And I know Detroit is going to be there at the end. Can you see, making a case for this game, Gabe? The one case I can possibly make now, and again, cases always go wrong, is I don't see Carolina running away with this football game up 14 points in the second half. I don't say it. But on the flip side, Gabe, I can see Detroit up 10 to 14 points in the second half here.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. And, the total's calling me at 42 here, but it's almost a trap. Why is it 42? It's like the odds makers know. They're like, we're going to bait people. This game, it wouldn't surprise me if it was 24-24 and the Lions win on a last-second field goal, 27-24. And it wouldn't surprise me if it's a weird fucking 1917 game, Donnie, as far as the total.
No, yeah, even look at Carolina. I mean, who have they struggled against? When they go up against a good defense, they struggled. New Orleans is a sieve on defense. So everybody, oh, man, look at the Cam's back, 33 points last week in New England. You're going to play a good, fundamental, solid defense on the road in this football game. So that's why I think that number's there. Say, oh, my God, 42, Cam Newton, look what they did last week. I think that's going to come down.
Yeah, it's tricky with the total. I'm staying away. I'm playing the Detroit Lions. Would you rather play the -1.5, Donnie, or -130 on the money line? I'd rather do the money line because the Lions do play such close games often.
Now, you know what? The fact, though, Gabe, that they play such close games there, I don't want to take that because there might be a chance where, Stafford's down, 3, and they just can't win the football game. I'll take the 1.5, keep the juice off the board for me. All
right, Pittsburgh Steelers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is another game, an interesting, identical total of 42. In which, for the record, the Pittsburgh Steelers are my survivor pick, but I'm not running anywhere to click or run to a window to bet on the Steelers -7. Are you?
No, I'm not running to the window. The one thing that's kind of interesting, Gabe, opened up at 8.5 in both the outlets I like to look at. 7.5 at Pinnacle plus money. Looks like 7 is a 50-50 across the board on where you can get it. It's boggling my mind here because Jacksonville going on the road with Blake Bortles, they have to keep the game close, but is this more of an indication, Gabe, of what we're looking at with the Pittsburgh Steelers? They have the whole incident there. We don't know if we're going to go on the field, stay off the field, locker room fighting. Then you come out next week, your star wide receiver who gets more targets than anybody in the NFL feels he's not getting targeted enough. Then your star quarterback calls out the wide receiver. There's 2 ways this game can go. A galvanizing effort. We're at home. We have, Jacksonville. They're going to try to slow play the game. Let's jump on them right away. Let's put everything to bed. Let's get in front of the cameras and say, look, we're back. Or is it just going to be one of those games where they're losing their mind, they're not focused, they're down 7-0, 7-3 in the first quarter, down 7 points in the second half? I'm staying away from this football game because there's too many what ifs for me, Gabe, on Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's not like the Pittsburgh Steelers are money as home favorites and laying chalk. I think Pittsburgh do cover. I don't think they're going to, I don't think they drill them, but a 28-7 win wouldn't surprise me. Pittsburgh are a much better team at home than they are on the road. Obviously, there is a big dichotomy there. The number coming down, it's almost, this game just has trap written all over it to me.
Yeah, no, it's not. It wasn't anywhere near my board, Gabe. I didn't spend more than 5 minutes this week looking at that game. I saw the over the touchdown. Now it dips back to 7, and you want to make the case saying, well, wait a second, it's 7. Don't I like the Steelers here? But then the more I read into it, I'm not sure the Steelers were their game plan. I mean, they took apart the Ravens last week, which if you say what you want, the Ravens probably match up similarly to what the Jacksonville Jaguars do on offense. They're not looking to go deep. They're looking to pound it on the ground, maybe play good defense and keep it close. And the Steelers really ripped them off. So if you're looking for a game-to-game, that might be a good indicator for the Steelers today.
And, the difference is, too, the Ravens don't have Leonard Fournette, right? Yeah. So Leonard Fournette's a key here. If Leonard Fournette can get things going, I don't know, the Jags are a weird team. As soon as you bury them, they can surprise you. I'll be, for the record, guys, the Steelers, I used to bet the Steelers every week. Or on or against. I used to really, one of our partners in the super contest is a cop in Pittsburgh, actually. So, we know the Steelers well, and it's to the point where we just fucking stay away from every Steeler game, Donnie. They're a weird fucking team, the Steelers. And like you said, there's always bullshit going on behind the scenes with these guys. I'm reading right now, too, it was Antonio Brown that did the whole fucking tunnel thing. And, this anthem stuff's had a lot of residual effects with some of these teams. I see Decker and his wife. She should shut the fuck up, But anyways, we'll get to that in a second. Yeah, I don't have a strong opinion on this game. If I had to bet it, I would lay the 7. But I don't like laying 7 points in the NFL.
No, you're right about that. I stayed far away, Gabe. If you say, Don, you got to take a team here. If it's 7, I'm taking the Steelers. If you get that, if it's 7.5, I might lean towards Jacksonville. It's that close in this game. Okay,
this next game, the New York Giants and the Chargers. Well, somebody's got to win unless they end in a tie. Somebody's got to win the game. The Giants are laying 3. The total is 45 in this football game. When push comes to shove, I think this is the week that Blue finally gets it done, Donnie. I think they've deserved better. You see the last couple of weeks. They deserve better against the Eagles. They lost on a 61-yard field goal. The game last week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they actually started to move the football in the second half. They scored a late touchdown. It looked like the Giants were going to win a football game, but Tampa was able to score late. They had a big play, and then they kicked the field goal. Amazingly, the fuckhead didn't miss the kick. But the Giants have deserved better, and you could argue the Chargers have deserved better too. You have 2 0-4 football teams. I hate to use the cliche, but these are probably the 2 best 0-4 football teams that we've seen. I mean, they're not the Browns 0-4, these 2 teams. So someone's got to win. Similar to the Lions, every fucking Charger game, Donnie, is close. They just, you can almost blindly just tease the Chargers to +10, take a nap, and you guys will be good. But with that being stated, you mentioned DraftKings. I think Manning and Beckham. I think Beckham's going to have a massive day today. I think the Giants are going to dig down deep. I think the home field advantage is the difference. They'll make a couple of more plays. They win this football game. I think they cover as well. I think the Giants cover. It's hard trusting these motherfuckers. Laying -3, but I like the Giants in this game more than the Chargers, Donnie.
I agree with you on this. The situations I like in this game, there's a couple ways that you can look at it. If you like the old adage, West Coast team coming East Coast to play 1 o'clock, do I take a lot of stock in that? No, but it's always nice to have similar there what the Philadelphia Eagles and the Arizona Cardinals are. But if you look at this game on a whole, Gabe, you're looking at the Chargers. What are the Chargers as an organization? They played 3 straight home games, lost all 3 of those games. Nobody likes them in their city. Now they're going to fly out west. Nobody likes the owner. We'll see if Philip Rivers even cares anymore, basically saying, you know what, I don't know how many years I have in this league, but I'm 0-4. I'm not going to the playoffs again this year. You're coming across to play the Giants. The one thing that, some people say, well, Giants a little bit banged up. Olivier Vernon's not going to go. Richburg, the center, is not going to go for them. A couple ins and outs. The running back is out for the game, Perkins, which doesn't mean anything. I think his backups actually are better than him. The spot I like here for the New York Giants is it's not so much that if you say, JPP is going to play in this football game, I get that. But It's not the pass rush. It's hard to sack Phillip Rivers regardless of what defense you have because he gets the ball out so quickly. All you're looking at from the Giants front four, and Harrison's going to play in this football game, is get that mush rush going on him and shut down the run, because the one thing you can lean on with the Giants is they match up very well in the secondary with San Diego, or excuse me, look at that, with Los Angeles's wide receivers in this spot from a man-to-man perspective. They'll be able to take that away. And also, I really like the Giants' offensive weapons there. Sterling Shepard's a good one. Odell Beckham. Brandon Marshall actually showed up last week. And the tight end, the young kid, Evan Ingram, who I wasn't real happy that the Giants drafted him. I thought
he's
they could
stud, Donnie. Yeah, he's a stud.
Playing really well. You have 4 legitimate weapons going up against the Chargers, who the Chargers itself, last week you saw against the Eagles, hitting off some big plays. They're not going to beat Janoris Jenkins deep. They're not going to beat Eli Apple. I mean, Eli Apple's not the greatest cornerback, but he does have speed. You also have DRC, who has speed. You have a great secondary back there with the safety out of Alabama also. I think the Giants are in a great spot here. And also, hot seat is a big issue. The guy for Los Angeles, the head coach, he's not on the hot seat, but everybody is calling for McAdoo's head. And the last point I'll make on this game, Gabe, if we take a look at the Giants, I love the point you brought up. Let's say they hang on in Philadelphia, Gabe, and win that football game. Let's say they hang on in Tampa Bay and win that football game. Now, they didn't. This line is 5.5 to 6 points if the Giants are 2-2 right now.
And you know what? I don't think the Giants have quit. That's the key to this as well, Donnie. The Giants haven't quit. I got to wonder if you're the Chargers, if you're on the ropes right now. Because, you know, you have no home field advantage. There's no
three straight home games. They played 3 straight home games, Gabe, and lost them all. Now they're going 3,000 miles away to play on the road. Not a good spot for them.
And also, though, you know, let's point the finger at Phillip Rivers a little bit and Anthony Lynn, who I brought up. You mentioned their head coach, not on the hot seat. He might be, Donnie. You know, and I know, you know, you're not going to fire a coach 6 games in or after 1 year. He's unqualified to be a head coach. He started last year as the running backs coach in the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, no, I saw the ascension there. Go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, so how do you ascend from the Buffalo Bills running back coach to a head coach in 12 months, Donnie?
And he's, he's not even
never been a coordinator before. He became a fucking coordinator by default because Rex Ryan, dude, it was a circus then, right? He was the guy left. It was like, wow, we fired everybody. Roman's gone, Ryan's gone, you're here left. And then suddenly he became a fucking head coach. He's in over his head. And then conversely, I think the Charger players are using this as an excuse now. Oh, it didn't feel like we're at home. Phillip Rivers, it didn't feel like we're at home. Fuck you, Rivers. You don't even live in L.A.
Exactly,
you don't even fucking live there yourself. And you want people to go to the fucking game? We talked about this, Donnie. You know, and then, oh, wait, it doesn't feel like a home game. Well, maybe if you'd fucking win, and don't give me this shit about the Chargers, about, oh, you know, they're losing because they didn't have a home field advantage. They didn't win in fucking home last year either, Donnie. They were 3-5 at home last year. They were like 3-5 the year before. San Diego are like 1-14 in their last 15 home games, no matter where they're fucking playing them.
Yep. And Phillip Rivers has been bad this year. I mean, turning the ball over again. He had a couple nice plays against the Eagles. The Eagles were never in danger of losing that football game last week. Now, again, you're going to go on the road. We'll leave it at that there. It looks like across the lines, you got 3 at Pinnacle, Double Juice, 3 at Chris, Double Juice, Sportsbook, 3 at Double Juice. Just give me the home team. I mean, hey, can I see where the Giants would win by 3 or, you know, Sandy or Los Angeles can keep it close late? I mean, I see that, but I'm going to take the home team here. You're right about that. I think the Giants still have some fight left in them because they didn't stop. They didn't quit after they were 0-2. They fought right to the gun versus the Eagles. They fought right to the gun versus Tampa Bay, had leads in both games, just needed that one stop. And those offenses, to me, the Eagles offense and also Tampa Bay's offense is much better than the Chargers offense.
This is a battle of wills. It's a battle of wills. And, you know, who's won 2 Super Bowls, Phillip Rivers or Eli Manning? You know, who's had more success over the past years? And you know what the key to this football game is? Early game, Donnie. Because if the Giants can score early, the crowd will get into it. If the Giants struggle early, if Eli, the capital city goofball, as I refer him to, if the capital city goofball comes out and he does his prototypical, gets batted at the line and tipped in the air and picked off, and he looks around, he does his confusing look.
Shoulder shrug.
He's shocked. I can't believe it happened. Can't believe. Fuck, he's a fuck stick, Eli. He really is. But
you know what's amazing? Through the first 4 games,
the crowd will turn.
I usually bag on Eli quite a bit, but he has not been the reason that they've been losing these football games. You know, a kick here, a kick there, stop here, stop there, and they're going to win the football game. So again, I'll lay with the Giants today, Gabe.
Yeah, I'm in. We're going with the Giants.
Yep.
Giants. All right, and also on the flip side, you guys can potentially middle this game because, like I said, the Chargers are almost automatic teaser material. All right, up to +10. Are the Giants really going to smoke them? They might. I like the Giants though minus the 3 points. I'm not fucking around with teasers too much. So speaking of fucking around, all right, we got some bigger line movement now. Jets are up to -1.5. The total is 41. This is one of these very simple. Can you justify the Jets as a road favorite?
Yeah, Gabe, look at the game. I mean, open up 1.5 in the favor of Cleveland, which again, all week long, me and the big man talk on the right side of campus, how funny it is that you're actually expecting Cleveland to win a football game, which is comical as it is. Now I'm saying you're right, 1.5, there's twos, a lot of the places across the board. This game just gets, and again, somebody's going to have to win this football game, which I say that, which probably ends up, 14-14 overtime tie, which would be hilarious. But looking at the game overall, Gabe, I can't trust Cleveland as far as I can throw that franchise. Everything about the franchise is bad. A rookie quarterback looks like he hasn't been coached and turns it over left and right. The defense has been a sieve. The head coach stinks. The baseball front office stinks. The general manager, who's a lawyer, stinks. The owner stinks, who's obviously under federal indictment. The whole organization is just backwards there. I don't like the New York Jets, but you know what I've seen, Gabe, from the New York Jets the first 4 weeks? They compete. It looks like they're coached well under Todd Bowles. The defense is going to play. I trust their quarterback much more than I trust Kaiser. I'll lean on the Jets. As much as I don't like the game, I'm going to go against Cleveland, Gabe, because I don't believe Cleveland wins football games, and you have to win this game in order to cover, it looks like here.
That's a good point that you raised. Let's keep it simple. You're right, Donnie. We don't need to overcomplicate things in the sense that Hugh Jackson is now 1-19 as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, Donnie. So
he's an awful coach.
He won one game last year, and they're on 4 now. So they played, please, coach, 20 games with this team. They've won once. And ironically enough, who do they beat? The Chargers.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that Phillip Rivers? Is that the fans' fault in L.A.? Was that the fans' fault? I'm telling you, Rivers is using that fan shit as a fucking crutch. Look in the mirror, Rivers. Is it the fan that you fucking lost? You guys were losers enough that you lost to the Browns last year. Oh, no, yeah, one quick thing about Beckham, too, and the Giants. Mm-hmm. Donnie, I see, Bryce Harper's wearing, cleats dedicated to Vegas.
Yes.
The kid on Jacksonville, what's his name? The safety kid. What's his name? The DP. I can't believe I'm forgetting the kid's name already. The draft pick from last year.
The Ramsey?
Yeah, Ramsey. Ramsey's wearing Vegas cleats. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of Vegas cleats and stuff. I know there's a couple other guys as well. Odell Beckham's wearing cleats today too. Except, guess what Odell Beckham, the tribute to Odell Beckham is? I swear to God, Odell Beckham has a tribute today. Odell Beckham will wear custom tribute cleats today, showcasing his life's biggest moments and accomplishments.
There you go. That's him, man.
He's wearing cleats with little Odell faces on them. And you know what? When I saw this earlier today, Donnie, I thought and I was loud. I was like, dear God. And I even said, what has he accomplished? What, a one-handed catch once? Yep. Yeah. He's got pictures of a one-handed catch on the shoe and a fucking dog. I guess he likes dogs, as we saw as he pissed on the fucking field the other day. It's the stupidest looking shoe ever. And it's just the most tone deaf that his agent or someone didn't tell him, listen, everyone else is wearing tributes to Vegas. You're wearing a tribute to yourself, fuckhead. Fuck, man, this kid's stupid. He really is.
I mean, it's good. Gabe, what's going to happen next year when he's actually eligible?
You imagine being operated on by a doctor that went on to LSU? The guy's going to fucking sew an extra arm on you, fuck.
Oh, buy you, doctor, yeah.
Buy you. No, look, we need to amputate. Sorry, I'm getting worked up here. Sorry about that. Next game. Sorry. I'm getting worked up. It's just, the guy's got a fucking shoe tribute to himself. Yeah, good job. Never mind the fact you're 0-4, fuckhead.
Gabe, by the way, over-under today. Over-under. You're a prop guy. Over-under today where Odell Beckham fakes an injury and takes his helmet off in the middle of the football field and sits there in the middle of the field. Over-under has to be 2.5 that he does that today. 2.5. If you're injured in the NFL, you see a lot of injuries. They lay down. When he is fake injured, he pops his helmet off every single time and sits down in the middle of the field. It's unbelievable. Huh.
He spends more time down than Vince Carter has over the years. You're right. He's the Vince Carter of the NFL.
Yeah, he is. Really is.
That's funny. All right. So I'm getting pissed off about that. Tom Marino says I'm better at night than in the morning. No, I'm the same. I'm consistent.
I don't even think Gabe's been to bed. So technically, is it night or morning right now?
Yeah, night, morning, all the same bullshit. All right. So anyway, so the Jets and the Browns, you make good points. You can't trust the Browns. And to me, I'm not trusting the Jets here. It would be if this is the old gun to head deal, right?
Yep.
Or if they said, listen, man, Morency, the bookie, all the games are off the board. There's one game this week. You got to bet it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking the Cleveland Browns if I have to bet it.
Oh, there we go. I can't wait to watch this one. Yeah, good. There we go. Give us something to talk about at the half.
I will not. And you know what? Normally I have a fascination for shitty football. I watch a lot of Mac, Donnie. But
Me too. Yeah.
But I'm not going to watch a second of this game. Right?
Yeah, imagine if you're one of those regional, where you're in like that regional team where it's just out of your range, and the game you got today, which you're not a fan of, is the Browns and the Jets. Like that's your only game, and nothing else is on at 1:00. My goodness.
Okay, here's another garbage bowl game, except I think we're probably going to be on the same side here. We've been riding the Colts on a weekly basis, you and I, Donnie. Not last week we didn't. I'm talking at home. Arizona laying 7, boom, cash it. Give me the points when they took them to overtime. And that was with Jacoby Brissett with practicing for like 3 days type of shit. He was forced in there. Jacoby Brissett had a couple of weeks now. We saw the offense was very efficient against the Cleveland Browns in a very similar situation, Donnie, which all they have to do is win the football game. We've seen San Francisco's offense, is hit or miss. Their defense is terrible. And what I like about this game is, we talk about hot seats and perspectives here, Donnie. Kyle Shanahan, this guy's got a 5-year fucking window here. Him and Lynch come in here together. They're not even trying to win. They got
don't even have their quarterback yet. Nope.
Yeah, they got Hoyer in here. They're buying time. They're going to draft their guy this year. Hyde's just there. You know what I mean? Yeah. They love the Williams kid. They don't have a wide receiver. Garson, this team is a house. Fuck, it isn't. It's foundation and some wood type shit now.
Yeah.
They lose this game. No one's getting fired in the morning. Chuck Pagano is fighting for his fucking coaching life like he did when he beat cancer. This guy's hanging on, Donnie, by a fucking thread, man. Even though luck is out. Listen, Irsay pops pills like they're Tic Tacs. This guy's a hothead as it is. And I'm telling you, if he didn't get cancer, he might have been fired already before. I think he bought a little bit of goodwill with Irsay. All right? I don't want to sound callous, but I'm just being really real here. He bought some goodwill
you're right.
with the town and with Irsay. Hard to fire a guy when you got Chuck Strong banners up still, right? But you need to win games like this, Chuck. And the thing is, San Francisco don't have any fucking talent. They got some young talent. They got some good guys on D, but they're on the field all the time. We see everyone's carving them up. Indianapolis still have players. They just don't have Andrew Luck. And I'm starting Jacoby Brissett in a DraftKings lineup because the guy plays well at home. They have nobody that can stop T.Y. Hilton. Hilton's going to have a big game today. The Colts are going to win this football game on their home field, Donnie.
Yeah, no, I actually would, if you can't make a counterpoint, if you flip this game, Gabe, that San Francisco was the home team, I actually would lean towards San Francisco. But being on the road, Indianapolis is at home. Take whatever you saw out in that Sunday night football game with Indianapolis going up to Seattle. That was a bad spot.
They looked good in the first half, Donnie.
They looked in the first half, slipped it around. But that final score, I mean, I didn't even take anything out of that. Jacoby Brissett should be able to run around and make some plays. San Francisco winning on the road is going to be a tough one. I actually like the point you bring up there, Gabe, because if you're looking at Shanahan and that front office, I mean, front offices all think alike going, you know what? I just want to see us maybe be competitive in these games, but like a Sixers fan, it'd be really nice if we got the first overall pick next year and we can dictate it. On the flip side, you're right. Chuck Pagano, week to week. I mean, Irsay will fire him in a minute. Oh, my God, we just got embarrassed again at San Francisco. We got him. Exactly. Take it back a couple years when he did get cancer. The shame of it all was you had Bruce Arians sitting right there, and he knew that was the right coach for the moment. He should have continued with him, but there was no way they would live through the PR nightmare.
His career, Donnie.
PR nightmare. Yep, PR nightmare if they would have fired Pagano. They let Arians get away, who's clearly the much, much better coach, and they haven't survived since that. Give me Indianapolis at home. I'm not saying they need to win the football game. Talent-wise, I actually think Indianapolis is better. And again, San Francisco going on the road doesn't give me that much excitement there. Will they keep the game close? Would I be surprised if it comes down to the fourth quarter? Yes, I would, but I'll lean on Indianapolis here, though, Gabe.
All right, this is another one where we're going to keep it. We're going to keep it simple as well, as far as numbers are concerned. Last 18 road games, Donnie. Last 2 years plus this year. You know how many times San Francisco have won a game outright on the road, which we just got to win this game in Indy? 2 times.
Yeah, I was going to say, it can't be more than 3.
Yeah, they're 2-16 in their last 18 road games, San Francisco. Yeah. We've got an early start time. Oh, yeah, Peyton Manning's at the game. They got that stupid statue and all that bullshit, too, in Indy. Early kickoff time for San Francisco. They still love their Colts there. Brissett's going to make some plays. T.Y. Hilton has a big game. The Indianapolis Colts win this game. I kind of think it's like that Brown game when the Colts played them, that we get some points in this game. You know, and
no, you're right about that. That's the same premise, Gabe. Yep, same premise on that one. 2 bad teams that get together that have, because San Francisco is going to run a nice sort of offense. They can't beat teams like Arizona on the road because they're not, that much. There's not much talent on the outside here, but these type of games, same way you looked at Cleveland there. I can see that. I can see this game ending up, Gabe, both teams in the high 20s here. Sure.
All right. Here we got another game, Donnie, with a 1-point spread here. The Miami Dolphins are now 1-point favorites against the visiting Tennessee Titans. And I tell you what, Donnie, I'd be willing to lay up to 2.5 here with the Dolphins. I've got the Dolphins +3 in the super contest, +3. I took a calculated risk that Mariota would be out in this football game. And he is. I believe that Matt Castle is Scott Tolzien bad. I think he's that bad, Donnie. So unless the Tennessee Titans are able to run the ball consistently all day long, and Murray and Henry are going to win this game single fucking handily for the Tennessee Titans, the Miami Dolphins win in their first home game of the year. Listen, Cutler's a flake on the road. They were in bad spots. We all told you. Donnie, we're both. Donnie gave the Jets in the first half in that game. I gave the Jets. We knew it was a bad spot. We knew it was a bad spot for them going to London, and all that traveling was going to catch up. They're finally at home. Cutler has always been a much better quarterback at home than he is on the road. Everyone's freaking out about their offense in the last 2 weeks. Well, their offense is going to get better in a hurry against this Tennessee defense. Devontae Parker, Cutler, Julius Thomas. The Dolphins are going to be able to throw the ball on these guys. It's going to be a nice home opener. They're a Dolphin fan. You guys are going to be happy this afternoon. Dolphins win this game. Matt Castle fucking is terrible, dude.
No, I agree with your sentiment here. And this goes back to sometimes, it's always nice when you beat a line. It's fun, but it doesn't matter if the ticket cashes. As soon as the line came out, I believe me and Jeff were on the right side of campus during the day when it came out at 2.5, and it was being bet up. The minute it hit 3, Gabe, I grabbed it. I actually got +3, +100 on this game on Thursday, which is no longer there. Then nice we did the closing line on Friday night. It was still at 3, and I gave my synopsis the same way as you. I'm saying, let me get this straight. A quarterback that's built on running a read option style offense that's going to have to explode when he pulls the ball to get in there, and he has a bad hamstring. Number 2, I looked at the weather forecast. There was drizzle and some rain in the forecast, and I said to myself, is there any way you let your franchise quarterback out there with a bulky hamstring where it might be a slick surface? The same way you bet against Mariota just being out, that's the way I looked at this football game. I thought Miami was going to be a part of it. I mean, let's get it straight. The 3 straight road games, they're finally coming home. They're not 0-3. They have a win. You can circle the wagon to get after it, but more of a perspective, again, putting Matt Castle in this football game here. It's not like you're just going interchangeable, like, oh, they're the same guy. Like Utah as a college program, both of their quarterbacks run the read option. They're both fast. They both have good arms. You're going to have to completely change your offense here because your read option is not a read option anymore. Is anybody going to go for the fake and tackle Matt Castle because they think he's going to keep the ball today? I understand. You know what I mean? That's going to change the complete outset. I think Miami's in a good spot regardless, but when you're trying to bet on a team going forward, when you look at the Dolphins early in the week, I thought they were in a good spot already. I bet against Mariota not being out there. Everything worked out perfectly. Just have to cash the ticket. But again, it just comes down to Tennessee's defense. Miami should be able to get right, and your entire offense changes for Tennessee with Mariota out of the lineup here.
And the Miami Dolphins' weakness this year, Donnie, has been a secondary. Ranked 27th. They give up 272 yards a game through the air. How do they handle the run? 77 yards a game on the ground. They've always been a good run defense, this team. 4th-ranked run defense in the NFL. They got a lot of talent on that line. Spent a lot of money up there. So suddenly, Matt Castle's going to have to throw the ball to beat these guys. Yeah, you have to throw the ball to beat these guys. And, Eric Decker's wife is melting off, and she's causing friction now. She's, she needs to.
What is she actually causing? Oh, I see her on like the South Beach diet commercials. What is she mouthing off about?
About the anthem, because the Titans didn't come out last week.
Yeah. That's always good for the locker room, right?
Yeah. So she said that they did it Eric Decker didn't know about it, and it was against his will. That's going to go over well in the room with the rest of the guys, right? This guy, like, really?
Miko Grimes should get together and have exactly, a battle there.
He fucking retweeted it and shit. Dude, you're not even a member of this team. You've been there for 3 weeks. There's a lot of brothers on that team, man.
Yeah.
Like right away, like I said, Decker's got issues here suddenly. It shouldn't be this way over this anthem shit. But whatever. Don't have your wife fucking going out and talking for you, man. You look like a fucking punk when you do that. You know, and now Decker's like, dude, you retweeted it, bro. Like, you know, you're a fucking idiot. It's like Chapman retweeting that Girardi should be fired.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's the same thing that goes when you. If you're talking politics, you're going to lose 50% of those battles. Why not just keep that internalized? Go play football, and especially, Gabe, from whether or not you think if they should come out for the anthem or not. I think we pretty much know what most of those NFL players in the inner sanctum in that locker room are feeling. It's always best to, suppress your thoughts and go with the flow. And because it will pass in 1 or 2 weeks, we probably won't be hearing about this anymore. But yeah, as soon as that comes up, the minute he gets in the locker room, Gabe, the people sitting back at their locker, like, whispering under his breath, like, hey, we wanted to talk to you today about something. Come on, just play football.
Yeah, you're right, dude. We see, hey, I don't know about the Raiders line actually letting Carr get killed or not, but there was something to it that they were pissed at Carr, dude, right?
How big? That was the only thing I could think of, because watching that game, you had to rub your eyes going, wasn't right. This isn't the Raiders. Right? Like, the Raiders looked like they were in slow motion out there, and it's not like the Washington defense is the greatest thing that was ever assembled.
You know what? That night I saw the same thing, Donnie. Derek Carr, he's a fun guy. In the huddle, he's always laughing, and he's very positive with the guys and everything. I noticed that night he didn't talk to anybody. And
Bible thumping and praying. Yeah.
I said the same thing. Exactly. I said the same thing during the game in the betcast. I said, look at this guy. I even said, something's weird in their huddle, man. It's like something's not right with these guys. And basically, was snubbing the quarterback.
He actually
didn't want to talk to him. So he knew this.
Yep, because that offensive line was predetermined, all African-American. They wanted to stick together. They wanted to take a knee. And what do they always look for? There's their quarterback to support them. Even if he didn't go over and appreciate it or take a knee, nobody was going to fault him, because if you see a lot of people getting away with it, they'll go over to the guy holding his fist up or taking a knee and put your shoulder on him. Nobody's getting
angry. Put your hand on the shoulder beside him. You stand beside him.
Yeah. Yep. David Carr with his guys.
He distanced himself from everybody and went by the Gatorade. Shit. Hey, I'm not with these guys. Yeah, but you want these 5 brothers to protect you, right, Carr?
Protect you, yes, correct. Even if he didn't agree with it, he could have gotten away with a fake show of support and stood behind them, and they would have been fine with that. Yes, correct.
All right, bye-bye, Ricky Levine. All right, so hey, you're free to your political opinions. You're free to your political opinions, but all right. All right, so hey, we're just bringing up the fact that this shit is a distraction.
Yeah, we're not going on either side on this.
Exactly. I'm not stating right or wrong. And you say it, Donnie. I know where you stand politically. I know you want people to stand for the fucking anthem. But if you're a quarterback on a team and your 5 guys are fucking brothers, you better figure it the fuck out, right?
Yes, you can make everybody, most of the time with protests, whether you agree or not, you can make peace with just about everybody. I don't know why he didn't do that. Yes, correct.
Yeah, I know. And next thing you know, he's fucking in the hospital. And you know what? Somebody brought it up to me. In the huddle, they didn't look too disappointed with E.J. Manuel, man. I saw one of the guys on the line when E.J. made a play. They patted him on the head. They were like, fucking right, man. Like, they like that. They thought the same thing in Seattle with Wilson, because they don't think Wilson's black enough, right? They all wanted Kaepernick to come in. They were like, yeah, get Kaepernick in here. Okay, anyways. Matt Castle's fucking terrible. All right, guys, 2 years ago, Matt Castle took over when Romo was hurt with the Dallas Cowboys. You know what his record was? 1-6.
Brutal. Yeah.
1-6. He's a bad quarterback. I don't want to hear anybody tell me about Matt Castle won fucking 10 games with the Patriots. You know what year that was? 2008. That was 9 fucking years ago, all right?
And in that situation, Gabe, he's the starter. Like, he was the starter that year being prepped as. He's coming into this gig like, man, I got the easiest gig ever. I have a young quarterback who's probably going to be the starter here 10 years. I just want to hang on and get this clipboard and hang out for the next 5 to 6 years. Hey, by the way, Matt, you're starting this weekend against a pretty good front 7. Oh, boy. You know what I mean? You have that mindset.
Love the Dolphins here, guys. Love the Dolphins. One of my best bets, and we'll get to our best bet before we're done. Speaking of EJ Manuel, we'll pick up the pace now. We're on perfect pace, actually. Raiders and Ravens. EJ Manuel looked pretty good coming off the bench last week, Donnie.
No, I agree. And again, I like to take a look where I see some value going forward on some teams. It wasn't so much that Carr gets injured, but how well was he actually playing over the first couple weeks? It wasn't like you took Joe Montana out of a well-oiled machine. The one thing I like is I like backup quarterbacks, mobile backup quarterbacks in 1 week starts where they're going to be the starter. They're going to get excited. He got his feet a little bit wet last week in the fourth quarter, almost pulled off a comeback on the road versus Denver. Now he gets to get home, get some home cooking here. He's going to get Crabtree back at wide receiver. And again, this is a game, Gabe, where you're looking at EJ Manuel. He's not going to have to put up 40 points to beat the Baltimore Ravens. They're going to ask him to do the little things, hand it off to Marshawn Lynch, hand it off play action pass. Your full complement of wide receivers are back. You have a very good offensive line. Lean on that. Lean on the home team. If I'm going to pick this game, I didn't hand this game out as a premium, but I do like the Oakland Raiders in the spot. I think they win by a field goal or more here.
And you know what? You've got, as you stated, listen, Cooper's having his issues right now catching the ball, but Crabtree's going to be back. They've got weapons. Yeah. And as you said, there's one thing EJ can do. He can throw the ball, dude. Right? Like, you telling me EJ can't throw a couple of jump balls for these guys to go up and get?
He looked decent in the fourth quarter last week. Yeah. No, he was, and again, he's going to be able to get away from the rush. Yeah.
Yeah. His football IQ, like if he's running around and making decisions and shit, you don't want him overthinking. But if you make life simple for EJ, he can be effective. He's got a fucking cannon of an arm. He can get it in there in a tight window. He'll surprise people, but then, he'll be 3rd and 3 and he'll miss a fucking little bubble screen by 7 yards. He does some weird shit. But here's another thing with the Raiders. Donnie, they haven't played at home since that Jet game. Think about the year here. They opened up at Tennessee with a win. They went home. They played against the Jets. They go on the road on a Sunday nighter against Washington. They get hit with all that fucking protest shit. It was a definite negative for those guys. It carried over into the fucking Denver game. Carr gets hurt. And anyways, a lot of teams, Donnie, and the Redskins are a pretty good team this year. A lot of teams would lose a Sunday nighter at Denver and then have to a Sunday nighter at Washington and then have to go to Denver the next Sunday. Sort of like when we talked about with the Saints, no shame in their losses earlier in the year, and you and I were right about that. They've evened it up. Yeah. I sort of feel the same way about the Raiders. Yeah, okay, people are mocking the Raiders a bit. It's been a tough 2 weeks. A lot of teams would lose at Washington and then going to Denver the next Sunday. Now they're back home again, and it's not so much that we're going to praise the Raiders and EJ Manuel and everything, but how about this Ravens offense? They can't do anything, Donnie.
Yeah, because I don't like Oakland's defense per se as a shutdown type defense, but you're going to be able to get pressure on the edges versus Baltimore. Again, Baltimore is a big banged up lineup. They're going to try to lean on, Collins out of the backfield, dink and dunk type offense, which is going to play right into the Raiders scheme on offense because you're saying, hey, EJ, we're going to protect you. Your options are going to be down the field. The Baltimore have a good defense. Sure, they do. But we're not asking to do too much. It's going to be a closer game. I see Oakland Raiders by 7 in this game. I like the fact that, it wasn't where Carr played through the injury last week and EJ Manuel's now up. I like the fact he got his feet wet last week in a competitive environment and also almost brought him back, get that confidence heading in here. I think it's a good spot for Oakland here.
Yeah, and how about this? I was looking up some numbers. Joe Flacco and the Ravens. They're throwing for 145 yards a game, Donnie. 145 yards a game. So I'm like, that's like military academy type stuff. So I looked up Army's numbers. Army only throw for 78 yards a game. That's Air Force, exactly 145. So, you got military academy passing numbers here. Perryman's a bust, dude. Yeah, he ain't doing shit. I don't expect him to do shit suddenly here. Macklin's going to play.
Drops everything. Yeah, Macklin will be back. Yeah. Macklin will be in concussion protocol by late second quarter. He might not come back in. We've seen that before.
Yeah, and exactly. And all the yards are really dink and dunk out of the backfield. I mean, what Flacco's averaging, like fucking 3 yards an attempt. It's pathetic. Yep. The Raiders got this game. Raiders got this game. They're going to shut Baltimore down. It won't be pretty. EJ will do enough, and they'll find a way to win this football game. Total's 40.5. Yeah,
I like a nice. I could see a game that could end up 24-17, somewhere in that range, but I think Oakland's going to win and cover this ball game.
All right, Rams and Seahawks. We'll pick up the pace now. You know what? Once again, let's not overcomplicate things. The fact of the matter is the Seahawks are not a good road team, Donnie. They're just not, and they haven't been for a couple of years now, man. Their offense sputters on the road, and it's not a one-off. It's all the time.
And also, Gabe, look at this game. The best running back coming into this game all season long. Everybody was hyping up. Oh my God, you got to get Carson in your lineup. He's out. So now you're going to go back to the wheel and be like, hey, Eddie Lacy, welcome back to the lineup. The one matchup I love in this game, I mean, McVay has been unbelievable as an offensive coordinator. He's going to find ways on grass to beat up that Seattle team. Seattle late in the season, much better. Seattle earlier in the season on the road, not a good matchup here. But it's Aaron Donald single-handedly wrecking that offensive game plan, because if you're going to ask Russell Wilson just to run around and make plays, we saw he had to run around and make plays versus Tennessee. They got beat up pretty good. Every time they go on the road, it's much different. You don't have the signal. No Cliff Averill, your best defensive lineman, is going to be out for this football game. Injuries across the front still. I mean, the one guy had a bruised heart last week. They're so bad on the offensive line. He's going to give it a go today. I believe it's Jokel who's going to play this football game. I saw the reports coming back earlier. Yeah, we want to play him this week, and then he's going to go in for knee surgery right after the game. Are you kidding me? My goodness.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, huh?
Yeah, come on. Yeah. But no, I was the same way as you, Gabe. I mean, it's not, I don't want to say it's even a trendy pick. I actually think the Rams are the better football team here in this game.
Yeah, I can't disagree. You look at the Rams. The Rams have been freaking consistent, Donnie, offensively this year. They have been. And, you know, Seattle, you can throw the ball on Seattle. You can argue the Rams have more talent than the Seahawks do as well. I mean, it's just, can they live up to it? Listen, that was a big test for Jared Goff to go on the road last week and get a big win like that. And he passed the test. He went out there.
They're getting a lot of respect here. I mean, opening up as a favorite is showing the Rams a lot of respect. They showed me a lot last week because I was very down. Anybody watching the shows, I was very down on the Rams coming in because I hated what I saw out of Goff. I was like, all right, McVay's coming in here. Yeah, he's a good offensive mind, but it's going to take him a while to get going. I trust McVay in that offense to be able to move the football versus Seattle. I don't trust Seattle. As bad as you might think that the Rams have played on defense, I think Wade Phillips is going to come up with something centering around that front four, just heating up that pocket all day long. I like it. And again, they don't have their best running back in the football game. So go ahead, Russell Wilson. If you have to run around for your life for, 50, 60 plays, go ahead and do it. I'm going to take the Rams.
Not to mention Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll struggle against the Rams. They just do.
Yes, all the time.
Amazing.
Right.
I know exactly.
Jeff Fisher at head coach dominated that game. I mean, come on.
They're 4-2 straight up the last 6 times they played. The last 3 years, the Rams have beaten them 4 fucking times, man.
That's all about that front. That's about that front four, Gabe. Yep. They never fixed their offensive line in Seattle. The Rams are very stout on their front line, and that plays out every game they play. Yeah,
I'm rolling it. I like the Rams in this spot. All right. Leads us into this game. It really has the feel of a night game. Fuck. I keep thinking it's a Sunday nighter, but it isn't. All right, we only have 3 minutes left, so we'll get to this and our best bets. I like the Green Bay Packers here. I think the Cowboys are regressing. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to throw the ball over the park. They're getting healthier. Balaga's back for the Packers. I like that. Devontae Adams is going to be a go for the Packers. I'm not worried about Montgomery, Aaron Rodgers, whatever. I mean, oh no. Just means the ball's in Aaron Rodgers' hand more. I like the Packers in this football game. I think the Cowboys, the Cowboys secondary's got big issues. I think they're going to have a hard time stopping this passing attack. I also like the over of this game.
Looks like, you know what, Gabe, that's the point I'm going to harp on. I don't know if I like the actual side because I can build a pretty good case for both ways, but just looking at it, if Green Bay gets both of their tackles back in this football game, whether or not they're 100% healthy, it's always nice to get your 2 starters back. You feel a little bit more comfortable in the pocket. The second thing is that you're going to have a lot of rookies in the backfield for the Green Bay Packers. Now, it looks like Ty Montgomery's not going to play. What does that mean for me? That's 50-plus passes Aaron Rodgers is going to throw. Instead of handing the football off, you're going to play that short passing game, which is going to lead to some points. And I always have a rule of thumb in life, Gabe. If Sean Lee does not play for the Dallas Cowboys, they can't stop anybody. He is out for this football game. I look more towards, instead of picking a side, I think either team can win this game. I see points here in this game.
I can't disagree. I like the total. It's fair number of 52 here. There's a lot of games. Yeah, we have 52.5. Weather's obviously not going to be a factor, and we've seen a defense. All right, best bets, Donnie.
Best bets, I'm going to go with 2 today. I'm going to stick to my guns. And it looks like as we were talking, Gabe, maybe we had some sway out there. Detroit showing a -2.5 now at the Greek. I gave them out there. We'll go with 1.5, and I'm going to go with that. So we'll go 1 at 1 o'clock. I'll go with Detroit. I'll go 1 at 4 o'clock. Give me the Rams.
All right, you know what? I'm going to give you guys a couple of picks, as I always do here. Give me the Miami Dolphins. Best bet, Miami Dolphins, money line, -125 right now over at uwager.eu. I bought a half point. UWager has the Arizona Cardinals getting 6.5. I just bought a half a point. Give me the Arizona Cardinals +7. Give me the Miami Dolphins -1 as my 2 best early bets of the day. I also like the Colts and the Buffalo Bills. 4 o'clock, we'll give you some 4 o'clock picks at the half. Me and Donnie are going to be back at the half, so we'll see you in about, usually it's about 2:18, 2:15 or so, guys. So, yeah, we'll see you guys at the half, and me and Donnie will get you caught up to date and give you our halftime thoughts. Great stuff, Donnie. Made a winner to your buddy.
Awesome, man. Thank you, Gabe.
There's Donnie Rightside with us. Closing line returns halftime. May the winners be yours.